My ex begged me not to wear my cosplay because it would upset his new girlfriend. I wore it anyway, and it started a war. Let me start with this. I never wanted drama. I'm 22, I like my quiet hobbies, and up until 3 weeks ago, my life was actually pretty peaceful. But by the end of this story, I got called a slut, started a screaming match, and got an entire group kicked out of a restaurant. So, let's back up. 8 months ago, I broke up with my boyfriend of 2 years. It was mutual. No cheating, no big blowout fight, we just grown apart and we both knew it. We agreed to stay friends, and honestly, we meant it. No awkwardness. No bitterness. The only complication was our friend group. We'd built this circle together over years. Game nights, conventions, weekend hangouts, and neither of us wanted to lose that. So we stayed, both of us, in the same group chat, at the same events, seeing each other constantly. For a while, that was fine. After the breakup, I did something I probably should have done years earlier. I started taking care of myself. Not for anyone else. Just for me. I started going to therapy. I cleaned up my eating habits. I started going to the gym 4 times a week. And slowly, something shifted. Not just physically, mentally. I started feeling like a person again. Confident. Comfortable in my own skin for the first time in years. My friends noticed. They kept telling me how much happier I seemed. How different I looked. And for the first time in a long time, I actually believed them. Now, here's some context you need. I'm a nerd. A huge one. Weekly D&D campaigns. Thousands of hours in strategy games. And my favorite hobby of all, cosplay. For years, my cosplay choices were, let's say, safe. I gravitated toward characters that covered most of my face and body. Characters where the artistry was in the details, not in showing skin. It worked for me. I loved it. But this year, with this new confidence I'd built, I wanted to try something different. Something bold. A friend of mine had been begging me for months to do a couple's cosplay with her Viper and Chamber from a popular tactical shooter game. Form-fitting, detailed, way outside my comfort zone. I said yes. For 6 months, we poured every free weekend into building these costumes. Armor pieces, face paint, custom accessories. It became this massive, exciting project I was actually proud of. 3 weeks before the convention, I finally finished the final touches. I snapped a photo and posted it in our group chat, asking for feedback. Within minutes, my phone buzzed. It was my ex. In my DMs. Not the group chat, my DMs. He asked me, point blank, not to wear the cosplay to the con. I was confused. I asked him why. He said it might make his new girlfriend uncomfortable. Now, this was the first I was hearing that he even had a girlfriend, let alone that she'd be coming to the convention with us. I asked him to explain what exactly about my costume would make a stranger uncomfortable. He wouldn't say, just kept repeating that it would be better for everyone if I picked something else. I told him, as respectfully as I could, that 6 months of work, money, and effort were not going in the trash because a woman I had never met in my life felt some type of way about a costume. He didn't respond after that, and I wore it anyway. Convention day arrived, and honestly, it was everything I'd hoped for. People stopped me for photos constantly. Other cosplayers complimented the detail work. For the first time wearing something this exposed, this different from my usual style, I felt incredible. I tried to keep my distance from the main group for most of the day, specifically to avoid any tension with my ex and his new girlfriend. But conventions are chaotic and eventually paths cross. We ended up spending a solid chunk of the afternoon together as one big group. And that's when I started noticing it. Every time someone stopped me for a photo, she'd let out this little laugh. Under her breath, but loud enough. Every time I adjusted my costume or posed, I'd catch her whispering something to my ex, followed by a smirk in my direction. I brushed it off. I told myself I was reading into it, but I wasn't the only one who noticed. I caught 2 of our other friends exchanging looks. Uncomfortable looks. Nobody said anything, though. Nobody ever does. By the time the con wrapped up, we all went to dinner together as a group, the usual tradition. I was tired. My feet hurt from 6 hours in costume, and honestly, I just wanted to eat and go home. That's when it happened. One of my friends, trying to be friendly, turned to my ex's girlfriend and asked if she'd ever want to try cosplaying herself sometime. She let out this short laugh before answering. Why would I need more attention from guys? I already have a boyfriend. I'm not a slut. The table went dead silent. I felt my face get hot. Everyone at that table knew exactly who that comment was aimed at. I hadn't said a single word to her all day. I hadn't done anything except exist in a costume I was proud of. I snapped. I looked her dead in the eye and told her to stop acting like a pick-me just because I'd gotten some attention today. That being jealous wasn't my problem to manage. She burst into tears immediately. Actual tears, right there at the table. My ex shot up out of his seat, telling me I'd gone too far, demanding I apologize to her right then and there. I told him I would. The second she apologized to me for the comments she'd been making all day. That's when it fell apart completely. More friends started jumping in, some defending her, saying I was being cruel to someone who was just insecure. Others defending me, saying she'd started it and I had every right to respond. Voices got louder. People were standing up. Somebody knocked over a glass. It got so loud, so fast, that the restaurant manager came over and asked our entire party to leave. All 12 of us. Kicked out. In front of half the restaurant. It's been 5 days since that dinner. My ex has been messaging me nonstop, saying that if I don't publicly apologize to his girlfriend, he's going to leave the friend group entirely. A group we've all been part of for years. Honestly, part of me wouldn't mind if he did. But some of our mutual friends have started reaching out, quietly asking me to just apologize. Not because they think I was wrong, but because they don't want the group to split apart. They keep saying things like, just let it go, and it's not that deep. But every time I think about apologizing, I remember the way she smiled at me over dinner right before she said it, like she wanted a reaction. So now I'm sitting here, 5 days later, still stuck on the same question. Am I the asshole for refusing to apologize to the girl who insulted me first? Even if it means losing my entire friend group over it? Let me know what you think down in the comments. AITA? Or was I completely justified? Our friend group is split right down the middle right now, and honestly, I need some outside perspective. And stick around, because there's already talk of a group meetup this weekend to settle things. So trust me, you're going to want to see how this one ends.